Hi, my name is Clock, and I've been known for doing shorts, but this is going to be my first real video. I was I was kind of thinking what to do for content, but this one reached out to me, so uh, I want to make some Reddit story videos that you could sleep to, I guess, or you could just listen to it. But um, yeah, I hope you like this video. I know it's not gonna be that long, but you could try. I mean, it's the first video, so it won't be that serious. So yeah, hope you guys like it. I pretended to be someone else at work for 6 months, and it completely changed my life. Okay, this is going to be a throwaway account because a few people in this story use Reddit, and I'm not ready for this to trace back to me. This is going to sound insane, and honestly, it kind of is, but everything I'm about to say is real. So, for context, I'm a 23-year-old guy. About a year ago, I got my first real job after college. It was a mid sized company, nothing fancy, just your typical office setup: cubicles, coffee machines that never work, coworkers who either overshare or don't speak at all. I was the second type. I've always been quiet, not shy exactly, just invisible. In school, I was the guy teachers forgot to call on. In group projects, I did the work but nobody remembered my name. Even my friends would sometimes talk over me like I wasn't there. So when I started this job, I told myself, new environment, new me. That lasted about 3 days. By day 4, I was back to eating lunch alone, avoiding eye contact, and giving one word answers when people tried to talk to me. Then something weird happened. On my second week, I got an email meant for someone else. The subject line was, "Welcome aboard, Alex." Except my name isn't Alex. I opened it anyway. It was from HR, and it was clearly meant for a new hire in a different department. But the weird part, it had a full introduction about Alex. Stuff like, Alex come highly recommended from his previous internship. He's known for being outgoing and great with clients. He's a natural leader and brings strong energy to any team. I remembered staring at my screen thinking, man, I wish that was me. Then, 5 minutes later, someone walked up to my desk. Hey, Alex, right? I looked up. It was one of the senior staff, confident, well dressed, the kind of guy who'll probably never eat lunch alone. I opened my mouth to correct him, and then I didn't. Yeah, I said, and that's where everything started. At first, it was just small things. People would call me Alex, and I'd respond. I figured I'd correct them eventually, but days passed, and I didn't. Then weeks. And here's the part I still can't fully explain. People treated Alex differently. They assumed I was confident. They assumed I knew what I was doing. They included me in conversations I normally wouldn't been ignored in. One time during a meeting, someone said, Alex, what do you think? Normally, I'd panic, but this time, I paused, leaned back slightly, and just spoke. I think we're overcomplicating it, I said. We should just go with the simpler option and test from there. There was silence for a second. Then my manager nodded. Yeah, that actually makes sense. After that, people started asking for my opinion more. And the scary part, I started having answers. I didn't just pretend to be Alex, I became him. I started speaking more clearly, making eye contact, even joking around with coworkers. At lunch, instead of sitting alone, I'd join a table and just talk, and nobody questioned it. Because of them, this is who I'd always been. One of my coworker, Jenna, even said, "You're like weirdly easy to talk to, you know?" I almost laughed because if she met the real me, she probably wouldn't say that. But to her and everyone else, I was Alex. About 3 months in, something big happened. My manager called me into his office. "Alex," he said, "we've been really impressed with your work." I was already nervous. Then he continued, "We're thinking of putting you on a client facing role." I nearly choked. Client facing meant presentations, meetings, talking to actual people outside the company. The old me would have immediately say no, but Alex. Alex smiled, and "Yeah," I said, "I'd love that." And just like that, my life changed again. Now here's where things start getting complicated. Because pretending to be someone else is easy at first, but it gets harder over time. For example, one day someone mentioned my previous internship, the one from the email. I had no idea what they were talking about. So I just nodded and said, "Yeah, that was a good experience." Another time, someone asked me where I went to school. I gave my real college. They, they frowned. "I thought you went somewhere else." I laughed it off. People mix that up all the time. But I could tell things weren't adding up. The worst moment happened around month 5. We had a company event, drinks, music, the usual. I don't drink much, but that night I had a few. And at some point, Jenna, yeah, the same coworker, sat next to me. "You've changed, you know," she said. My heart dropped. "What do you mean?" She looked at me, kind of serious. "When you first started, you were really quiet, like didn't talk at all. And now you're this." I froze because she was right. I had slipped. Somewhere along the way, people had started noticing the difference. "So which one is the real you?" she said. I didn't answer because I didn't know. A week later, everything fell apart. HR sent out a company-wide email. "Please welcome Alex Smith to the marketing department." Different last name, different department, different person. And suddenly, it all clicked for everyone. People started asking questions. "Wait, I thought you were the Alex. Hold on, what's going on?" My manager called me in immediately. "Can you explain this?" I tried. I really did. "It started as a misunderstanding," I said. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." He stared at me for a long time, then said something I didn't expect. "You should have corrected it." "I know, but..." He paused. "You've been doing good work." That surprised me. "I don't care what your name is," he continued. "I care about results, and you've delivered." I didn't know what to say. So here's what's going to happen, we said. We fixed the name, we move forward, but no more whatever this was. I nodded. Understood, sir. The next few weeks were awkward. People started calling me by my real name again. Someone laughed it off. Others were clearly uncomfortable. Jenna avoided me for a while. And honestly, I didn't blame her. I had lied to everyone. Even if it started small, I let it grow. But here's the part I didn't expect. Even after everything came out, people still treated me like Alex. They still asked for my opinion, still invited me to lunch, still included me. And one day, Jenna finally talked to me again. You know, she said, I was mad at you. Fair, I replied. But I think I get it now. I looked at her. You weren't pretending to be someone else, she said. You were just acting like the person you wanted to be. That struck me. It's been about 6 months since everything happened. I'm still at the same job, same desk, same coworkers. But I'm not invisible anymore. I speak up in meetings, I joke around, I don't eat lunch alone. And here's the weirdest part. I don't feel like I'm pretending anymore. Because maybe I never was. Maybe Alex was just a version of me I was too scared to be. And it took a stupid mistake to bring him out. So yeah, I lied about my identity for 6 months. And somehow, it made my life better. I'm not saying you should do what I did. Honestly, it could have gone way worse. But I will say this. Sometimes, the person you want to be is already there. You just need a reason to act like him.